When the market changes or a client unexpectedly asks to do something different than what has already been discussed, how do you like adapt to something that's sort of unexpected in that way?
I think we have to also, I think in this business, that's a good question. We have to be flexible. We have to have an open mind and understand we're dealing with people, human beings, and things can change based upon their personal needs or, financial situation or just overall interest. And I think what you have to do is listen and ask a lot of questions. So if someone's stating like, hey, I have interest in this particular type of property, you ask why. What are the needs? What's motivating you, to buy this type of home or to move in this type of area? And then they give you that information. And let's say you go out and you look at homes in that area that fits the criteria, the budget, the scope, and then they like, oh, I want to go see this over here, right? And now the plan changes, right? And you have to adjust. You have to ask why. What piques your interest about this versus what you shared with me about this, your buy box over here. Now that's changing, and that's okay. You have to understand. You have to have flexibility. You're helping this individuals make informed decisions. So what you do is ask the right questions and then you provide them with the information to make informed decisions. And that's my approach. You never get frustrated, even though a client might lead you to believe that they're locked in and engaged on a particular area, price point, and interest. There may be things that they see that changes their mind. And I've had that happen often where, client wants A and then ends up buying B. That's okay as long as if they go from A to B, it falls still within the parameters of what their budget is. And of course, the style of the home, things that they may have originally been interested in could potentially change, but you still do your job to advise them to make sure that they're making an informed decision. And as long as those boxes check out that they're making a good decision, and if that's the case, then you support them in that and you help them get the deal done. And if it doesn't, you remind them like, hey, this doesn't fit what we're our original goals, right? Or this isn't a good buy, and here's the reasons why.
How have you been able to focus on planning strategically for the future while also focusing on what you have to do today?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I have a lot of notes that I've written down that are like basically I look at everything from like 3 to 4 year plans. So I'm never just doing something on a whim. And I have a business plan, and my business plan is my roadmap. And so, each quarter we're looking at the business plan, looking at the roadmap that we've planned out on things that we're going to be focused on, executing on from my individual production to the actual brokerage, right? To actually, running the team and helping our other agents perform and do deals. So you have to have a business plan. You have to have a roadmap, and that's what I go by. I go by the roadmap, and that's what I use as my guide. And then when it's necessary to make tweaks or adjustments, quarter by quarter, then that's what we do. Just like in a game, you got 4 quarters, and every quarter is going to be something different that you're going to encounter, regardless of what the scouting report says, or coming in for the game plan. You have to be prepared to make adjustments or pivot at any point in time. If things aren't going according to plan, you figure out why. Like example, if you're marketing and you're not getting results after marketing and spending money on a particular marketing initiative or channel after 3 to 6 months, then you may have to pivot and put that money other places. So again, man, following the business plan, staying committed to that, and just looking at the data and the numbers and making adjustments where needed.
I love it. When you said that, it automatically made me think about the interview that you did where you talked about the playbook
Yeah,
and having that playbook.
yeah,
And when I first heard that, I was like, "That's so good."
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
discipline. I think discipline and structure and just understanding, like, in business, it's going to take time to build the things that you desire to do or would like to see manifest. And so, writing out your goals and then writing out a roadmap on what things you're going to do to get you one step closer to those goals. And then you just chip away at it day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And if you encounter any obstacles or things that cause delays, then recalibrate, adjust, don't panic. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to get frustrated, but gather your thoughts, go back to the game plan, and then refocus, and you just got to keep moving forward. But if you have a roadmap and a game plan, then you can put yourself in position to be one step closer to your goals versus if you're just kind of doing things by the seat of your pants or when you feel like it, it's going to be hard to have success.
I was wondering, oh, what daily habits or routines have helped you stay consistent in such a competitive industry?
Quarter by quarter, you're going to make adjustments. But I think for me, as I've gotten more seasoned in this business is really understanding to take time for myself. In the mornings, having meditation, reflection, affirmations, positive affirmations, reading, working out at the gym. The first half of the day is really all about me, right? And then from there, I know that I have certain tasks that I have to get done related to my production and my business. And then I also have things that have to get done related to the business. So you're kind of working in your business, working on your business. You're kind of, floating in between back and forth. And then you're working on yourself, right? Things that you got to do to work on yourself to get better, both in the business and in your personal life. And so for me, I've taken that approach. Has worked well for me, similar to sports. You got to get up in the morning. You got to, stretch, work out, right? Get in the gym, get your shots up, study the playbook, practice, right? Rinse, repeat, right? And that's kind of the repetition. And then of course there's going to be the clients, right? You're servicing the clients, what's on your schedule, or you're prospecting, like what systems do you have in place? For me, I've learned how to implement systems where I'm not constantly chasing after clients. I have a referral base, I have a database. So, I wake up in the mornings, I know I've got certain processes of emails going out weekly, and I'm looking, okay, who's engaging with those emails, right? Or I have lead gen systems working in the back end, and I'm looking, okay, who's engaging, who do I need to follow up with, right? And then I have clients that are reaching out to me that, A, want to see properties, A, they have questions, or B, hey, I'm meeting a potential client that wants to sell their property. So my weekly routine is really based around self, taking care of self, right? First, my wife and I, we work out together in the mornings, we walk, having a positive mind frame, and then attacking the day from there.